What is the smallest thing that makes you lose your temper immediately? Someone telling me to go do something that I was going to do anyway. If you tell me to go do the dishes as I'm walking to go do them, I no longer want to do the dishes. I have no idea why this makes me as enraged as it does. People taking up the sidewalk and walking too slow. Immediate rage. Similar but driving, someone wanting to see what lane is going to go faster so they sit in both, so no one can pass them. Bigger frustration when they're the only car blocking you from getting to that light that you're trying to turn right on. Biggest frustration is when you're trying to get to that light to turn right, and they think you're trying to cut traffic, so they block both lanes. When I throw my keys on the table and they slide off, then I try again and they slide off again, and I just say fuck it and leave them on the floor. Talking over me. I get that it's a cultural thing for some people. In some families you never get hurt at all unless you talk over your family members, but doing it in regular conversation is just enraging. Catching my earbud cord on a doorknob and having it ripped from my ear. When someone chews loudly beside me, especially if they chew with their mouth open. Grocery store etiquette. GTFO of the middle of the aisle. This can't be your first time shopping. When I bite into a delicious sandwich and all the insides fall out of the other end. I call this sandwich rage. People who leave the microwave with 1 second left in the timer. When I tell someone something that isn't just some small fact about the day and all I get is an okay. When people ask for advice and then don't listen. When people say you need to underscore. It's a framing issue. For whatever reason, whenever anyone says I need to do something, I flip a bitch. While working at Subway, it bothers me when people say you can get me, instead of can you get me. I think it's just the gesture of asking that I appreciate. So when someone doesn't, it throws me off. When someone can't grasp that something isn't as obvious to me as it is to them, simply because I can't read their minds, I don't know their whole life story, or I don't have the same educational background, or the same interests. When whatever you're about to do gets derailed by technology. Want to watch a movie? Well, the Chromecast won't connect, the subtitles are wrong, the audio is offset by 200 ms. The Bluetooth speaker ran out of battery, and the internet just went down. Fine. I guess I'll just play a video game instead. Well, there's a 15 GB update, and it made the game late. Also, the servers are having connection issues and matchmaking is broken. Damn it, alright, I'll just go for a walk and play some music. Except the Bluetooth headphones won't pair today, and Spotify is stuck in offline mode. I just wanted to relax. But now it's 10 p.m. and I've spent my entire evening angrily troubleshooting stuff. This is why I tend to avoid technology as much as possible. It replaces predictable inconveniences with unpredictable problems. Everything is broken and nobody cares. Even my Toto app is giving me trouble these days. Asking someone to shut my door but they leave it slightly cracked. Unflushed toilet. When the gas station credit card machine isn't working and I have to go inside to pay. I don't mind walking inside, but the clerk then asks me how much gas I'd like to purchase. Why? Why doesn't the machine need to ask? This makes me really angry for no reason. Bumping my head on something when I stand up. It takes me by surprise and pisses me off. People asking for my help and then questioning the manner in which I provide it. Like, I remember when I was younger my mom would ask me to load the dishwasher, but then give me shit cause I didn't do it exactly like she did. And keep in mind I'm not some imbecile who doesn't know how to load a dishwasher, they exist and they are infuriating, but she'd bitch at me for putting the spoons where she usually put the forks or some other mimic bullshit like that. Now it usually only happens when I'm giving someone a ride and they question the route or my driving and traffic skills. I lose my shit on people if they do that. I've told more than one to get out and walk if they don't like it. When the volume on the TV isn't a multiple of 5. Fucking barbarians. When someone feels they must announce to the group they had sex. Like we are all adults, cool, no one cares that you had sex. You don't need to text us, call us, or send out flyers. Someone talking or laughing unnecessarily loud. pedestrians looking at their cell phones and walking in the middle of the lane in a parking lot. When people mumble stuff as they walk away. Motherfuckers turning without putting on the goddamn turn signals. I never understood why it was a thing my dad raged about constantly, but now when I'm driving, I'm worse than him. I don't even say anything. When I pass I stare them right in the eyes, letting them know that I wish them and their entire family crash into the midjord and burn on gasoline. Someone saying Trump in a non-politics AskReddit post. Passing me, then swiftly turning back into my lane in front of me, only to hit a red light. When people say calm down. When people talk too long. When I say this, I mean explaining a specific situation but are repetitive and long-winded when it should take 1/3 of the time to explain. If I'm close to the person, I'll usually be blunt and tell them to wrap it up. If someone shushes me or puts their hand in my face, I go from 0 to 100 in no time. When someone says I could care less when they mean I couldn't care less. People pulling into the apt complex with their stereo all the way up. Guy with the ricer just revs his engine constantly when he enters or leaves the complex. It's like a 20-year-old Civic. Guy that revs his bike constantly. Reminds me of the South Park episode. People not understanding obvious jokes, sarcasm. It tilts me off the face of the earth. When my neighbor knocks on my door, he's always asking to borrow something or trying to get me to do him favors or something else weird. And he doesn't take the hint if I don't answer after a minute. I'm over being neighborly to this guy. When people ask me something when I'm tired or focused. If someone doesn't follow the instructions that I have for leaving a voicemail. There's like 1 million people in our database, literally. If you leave me a voicemail with no phone number and you just say your name is Gary, then I'm probably not going to call you back. Companies that still insist on using fax machines. When people ask why I'm so quiet. Never provoke the quiet ones. They snap louder than extroverts. When someone boops my nose. Anything thrown at my face. I instantly see red and it pisses me off so much. That, and pinching triceps used to be common at work. I fucking hate it so much. People trying to convince me something is true without proper references. This one time someone tried to convince me that entire country of Russia lies in Asia. By using a map with no country borders on it, just differently painted continents. Just hearing the word collaboration or the words group assignment. I bought a smartwatch a while ago and you can now measure how many times I hear these terms a day by when my heart rate jumped up 50%. People being late or unprepared. If I say I want to leave the house at 5 p.m. to go get groceries, I don't mean get ready to leave at 5 p.m., I mean I want to be walking out the door. Losing 15 minutes in the grand scheme of things isn't a huge deal, but I just feel so disrespected if my time is wasted like that. People touching my motorcycle without asking, I come uncunted. When customers would put the money on the table instead of putting it in my outstretched motherfucking hand. I will slap you with that hand. Forced Windows 10 update in the middle of watching porn. A constant tapping noise. Drivers that just won't turn right on the red. Political shitposting, in either direction, in a non-political discussion, thread. And yes, I'm aware of the irony of my doing pretty much that right now. I don't care which direction you're angling, throwing in some jab about Brexit, or Trump, or Obama, or the EU or UN, just rubs me the wrong way. As an example, making an analogy and using, insert political opponent here, as an example of something bad. Like, please, just keep it contained in /t_d and /politics. Of course, I can't complain too much because I'm all too happy to jump in on the argument after someone else touches it off. I just hate it when someone writes something more or less upvote worthy, then ruins it with some snide remark. Instant downvote, even if I agree with every other word in the post. People not walking on the right side in the hallway. Car traffic, people traffic ... Same methods apply. When people say thanks for all the upvotes, likes when they get 100 or so on Reddit. Crying kids. Infants, or children. Instant revulsion and rage switch. Getting insulted about my bodily features. Beat the shit out of a kid at school after he called my tubby. When people throw food even when it's done accidentally. Shitty drivers. Bikers not using their special sidewalk for bicycles and driving in the middle of the road. When something unexpectedly touches my face, mainly my nose. Passing me on the highway, then changing lanes in front of me and slowing down. Also riding in the passing lane doing 3 miles per hour faster than the slow lane. No, that's not fast enough. Dfo my way. When people meow at cats. I know it's irrational, and I've gotten a lid on it in recent years, but it takes some serious self-restraint. They don't understand you when you meow at them, goddammit. An out-of-tune guitar, that isn't mine. Walk into a guitar center with even a slightly trained ear, and listen for people strumming the acoustics. I'd rather listen to my fucking tinnitus. People who try to converse with you and still go on their phone. So when they're halfway through a sentence they'll be distracted by their phone and won't answer, or when you have to repeat yourself like 5 times because they were too distracted. Like, just pick one. Talk to me or the phone. I'd if they choose the phone, but like, don't talk to me if you're gonna waste my time like that. When a roommate takes something of yours unannounced, like a beer from your 6-pack, or a big scoop out of your peanut butter jar. Nothing huge, but just enough to know that they took something from you without